gift ideas for fishermen, and boy does this video cover a ton of those. Black Friday's going on right now. We got all the deals and stuff happening throughout all kinds of different stores, so there's a ton of deals to be looking for Black Friday. Christmas is roughly a month away, right around the corner, so everyone's looking for gift ideas. And if you clicked on this video, you're probably looking to buy something for a fisherman, which is really, really cool, by the way, because anybody that buys me anything that has to do with fishing is usually my favorite gift of the year. So we're going to go over several things in the video, from stocking stuffers, those really cheap, small $1, $2, $3 things that can fit in the stocking stuffer. Maybe you've already got them some gifts and you're looking to add another gift or two under the tree for them, that medium-sized gift, maybe 10 to 30 bucks to add something under the tree for them. We got that in the video. Or maybe they're a die-hard fisherman and you really want to get them something nice. We've got a lot of nice things in the video too that you can get them for that big gift, that really nice gift idea, and they're going to love you forever if you do that. So let's get to these items, these gift ideas. First things first, let's get into those stocking stuffers. So these are small enough, everything here that we're about to talk about will fit in those stockings. They're relatively cheap, from a couple cents up to a couple dollars. So let's get started with some simple stuff. We got these, so we get to adjust in there. These here are barrel swivels. Now they make all kinds of swivels out there for every fisherman's need. There are snap swivels, there are these barrel swivels, there are three-way swivels, all kinds of different swivels. Now, all kinds of different rigs require a fisherman to have swivels. So those are really, really cheap. You can get swivels for like $1 or $2, depending on how many you get. Really good stocking stuffer idea. Floats are really, really expensive. These peg floats that I use, you can get for like $1 or $2 for a big pack of these, of like 5 or 6 for just $1 or $2. So it's pretty cheap for these as well. They make all kinds of floats. There are those floats, there's these pole floats here, and these pole floats are about $3 or $4 a piece. Still fit in the stocking stuffer. Really, really good choice for fishermen out there. A ton of floats out there. The next thing is sinkers. Every fisherman needs sinkers. Now here we got no-roll sinkers, bank sinkers, coin sinkers. There's all kinds of sinkers out there. There's bullet sinkers out there. There's even some heavy tungsten weight sinkers out there. Those are a little bit more expensive, but for the most part, sinkers are just a couple dollars too. Really, really cheap. Now, hooks. Hooks is something you definitely need. You got to have the hook to catch the fish. So we've got some decent sized hooks here. These are a trocar hook. We've got Must Have. These are some of the famous brands here that everyone uses. Some small eagle claw hooks for the bait fish, those smaller fish, those bluegill, types of fish like that. And then you even have some really big hooks for some big baits if you wanted to throw some big baits out there. The ones that I use, I'll link in the description so you can go by that if you want to. This next thing could actually technically be put in a stocking stuffer as well. So if you want to do that, you can put this in a stocking stuffer, or you can wrap it up. So if you're looking for a gift that you say you already got a bunch of gifts for someone, that you just want to get that little extra something, then you want it to be about fishing, this is kind of that thing where you can just add it in there, because these are only like 10 bucks each of these things right here, and they're super, super needed for fishermen out there. Now the first thing is these pliers. If you're going to get any type of pliers, you want to make sure that it has a good grip on it. These got rubber grips, got these little ridges and stuff on here, so these pliers are going to get wet, they're going to get some slimy stuff on them, different things like that out there, and they're going to get slick. But with these good grip, they're easy to grip, they're easy to hold on to, not going to lose them, not going to be messing up anything because of all that grip. Knives are another huge thing that every fisherman needs. There's a ton of knives out there. Again, you want to look for grip. Make sure they have a good grip. This thing has some rubberized grip right here. Now this one's a really, really thick knife. It's got that really thick blade on it. It's not going to bend, it's not flexible. This thing will stay sharp forever. It's a titanium knife, and it's super, super awesome for what I need it for. They make smaller knives, so I can get this thing open. So much smaller knives. The blade's a little bit more flexible for filleting out some stuff. It's got on the back here for cutting up bone and things like that. You're getting through the bone, that's really tough. This right here knife's going to help you out with that. It's got some decent grip. It would have been nice if they would have added some rubber grip to this one, but it's got a decent grip. It's got that little stopper right here that stops your hand from sliding upwards onto the knife blade, so that's pretty good. But they make all kinds of different knives out there for fishermen. That was just a few there. Again, this stuff will be in the links of the description, as well as maybe adding a few more knives that I don't have or stuff like that for you guys to have plenty to choose from. The next thing, this could technically be put in the stocking stuffer as well. It's small enough to go in a stocking, or you could wrap it up. But every fisherman out there that wants to know their personal best, that PB as everyone calls it, they're going to need a scale. So you're going to need a scale, because what you're going to have to do is you're going to weigh that fish. When you get that fish, you're going to make sure everything's zeroed out, of course. Put your fish on there and see how much it weighs. So we got one that weighs about 3.83 pounds right there. Next trip, we're definitely excited because we caught a nice one, but we're wanting to beat that. We're wanting to get one that's bigger than that. So we finally do get one that's bigger than that, and it's let's say 5.16. So we're getting progress there. Scales are a lot of fun, especially when you have buddies and stuff that tag along to see whose fish is kind of bigger, and just to brag about the size of your fish. So that's pretty cool to have. Every fisherman just kind of likes to have that scale. If you ever catch one big enough, that could be potential state record. This scale actually goes up to 110 pounds. There's a lot of scales out there that only go to like 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds. This scale right here actually goes up to 110 pounds. So if you catch a really big fish, you're going to be able to weigh it with this scale right here. Next on the list, technically some of these are small enough to go into a stocking stuffer as well, but you're probably actually going to want to wrap any of this if you decide to get these, and that is flashlights. Flashlights are super handy and definitely needed. You never know when you're going to need a light. We got a bunch of lights to go over here. And this is kind of that emergency light, or if you already fish in the dark, just kind of a walk around light. It has several different modes here. There's high, there's low, and you have high and low over here. You can turn them both on at the same time for maximum brightness. It lasts pretty decent. This is rechargeable. So you got headlights, those are pretty nice. You got some handheld lights, 750 aluminums. I think this only has one option, and that's just high on 750. The battery life on this is kind of decent. So 750 aluminums for that kind of shining far off deal. That'll get the job done there. Next we have a lantern style light. So if you do plan on fishing on that boat after dark, you can just kind of set this out there on the boat and turn it on. It's going to light up the area for you. It's really nice because it's got high, medium, and low. So say it's too bright on the boat, you can turn it down to medium or low. Say you're on the bank and you need it to be brighter because you're fishing a bigger area, you can leave it on high and it lasts pretty decent. I think on low, this thing right here lasts like 8 to 10 hours or something like that. So on medium, I think it lasts about 6 hours, and on high only 4 hours. But still, that's pretty nice and really handy. Maybe you have someone who does their own videos like you're seeing here. Maybe they make YouTube videos as well. Maybe they just make little Facebook videos for themselves, and they're gonna need a light for that, because that's what you're gonna have a good light to pick up camera footage. You guys can see it's in my past videos I struggled with having good lights, and some of the quality wasn't that good. So definitely you're gonna want to have a good light. This thing right here goes up to 1,000 lumens, and it lasts for 18 hours on 1,000 lumens. 100% brightness, 18 hours straight. This thing has ridiculously amount of battery in it, and it lasts forever. It's pretty bright. It's pretty awesome. It can also, this is the way you charge it, but it can also, because it has so much battery capacity, be used as something to, like a power bank. So if you want to charge your phone, just bring your phone charger, plug it in there, and charge your phone off of it as well. Maybe one of these other flashlights go dead. You can use this to charge one of your other flashlights, because again, it has that much battery. Getting into some of those bigger things, you're definitely gonna have to wrap all of the rest of this stuff. It's not going to fit in the stocking stuffer probably. So is tackle boxes and tackle bags. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the tackle box. Now this is definitely by far my favorite tackle box, just because it's got that little carrying handle right there. It's super simple and it's super convenient. What I mean by super convenient is sometimes all the tackle boxes you buy come with like trays like this, and the trays are only so deep. They can't hold all kinds of different stuff. The compartments in each tray may be only like so much length and width, and you just have a hard time getting your stuff fitted in there. This thing right here has you covered, because on this side right here it is really deep, and all the compartments on it is fairly big. So let's check this out. This is kind of why I like this. So got all my hooks and stuff over here. You guys can see this is really deep in here. This box is, I don't know how big that box is. Sets down in there nice. Here's a spool. That'll tell you how deep it is. There's a spool of line. Sets down in there fine. So I can hold all my stuff in there. Scissors, scales, all kinds of floats. If I break off at any point, I just flip this right here open. This is what's really nice about it compared to another tackle box or a tackle bag, is you kind of have to dig through different compartments to get everything you need. Because if you completely break off, you need a swivel, you need sinkers, you need another hook, another float, all kinds of different stuff. This right here, you flip it open, everything you need right here. Your leader line is here, sinkers are here, beads are here, swivels are here, floats are here, hooks are here. Everything I need to, I even have a line cutter and stuff in here. Everything I need to retie is right there at one flip up. So that's why I really like this box. It's super quick and super handy because all those compartments are big and deep. And on the other side, you have these right here. You can add different kind of boxes you want in here. It actually comes with both of these boxes. So we had to move spots because that table wasn't big enough for these backpacks. Now backpacks are something that once you use a backpack, you kind of never want to go back because they're super handy. They have a ton of compartments. They do a ton of stuff. Now this backpack over here is mine. This bigger one is my buddy's here. If you want to see a really detailed video of this backpack right here, I'll leave that up right up here somewhere in the top. But this thing will hold your chair, it'll hold your net, it'll hold your fishing poles, it'll hold your rod holders, all of your gear, and you don't have to put any of it in your hand. Just throw it on your back. You have it all strapped to that thing. I'm serious. It will hold all of that on that backpack right here. If you don't believe me, definitely go check out that video. That backpack does it all. Same thing with this one. This one can do that too. But these backpacks have a ton of stuff going on for them. So this is where you would put your rod holders. You can put different stuff in here. Slide those rod holders down here. You can stack up a bunch of rod holders. It'll be awesome. I put the chair and stuff back here or under here. Just kind of just slide my chair under there, pull these straps tight, and I got that going on. Right here you can put your rods. These two things come over and buckle back over. Put rods here, put rods here. You'll have your rods in place. You can do the same thing with a net. That's what we done in that video. Put some rods on one side, put the net, strapped it on the other side. You got clips and stuff. You can just, the possibilities of this thing is endless. It's got some outside compartments that are super deep, go in there, and then you got the compartments up front, compartments in the middle, and then you got the main big compartment that's got some different stuff going on inside of it. Same thing with this one out here. It's got some extra clip-on stuff you can add. All these things right here to just slide stuff down and put those rod holders in here. Same thing this, you're going to be able to hold your fishing poles with this backpack, flipping these things over. This one's definitely much bigger. It's got more compartments to it. So if you wanted a bigger, bulkier backpack to hold a lot of stuff, you would want to go with the one like this. So I'm going to have a couple backpacks listed in the description for you guys to go check out because there are a ton of really cool backpacks out there for fishermen. The next thing we're going to talk about is dip nets. So we got different size dip nets. If you just fish for bass, bluegill, different things like that, or on a little kayak, then this kind of little net right here is definitely going to be what you're needing. Now if you fish for really big fish like striper, catfish, things like that, you're going to want a bigger net. And this one is really huge. I could actually fit myself inside of this net. So if I was caught, someone could pull me in with this net. That's how big that net is. Huge. You're not going to have a problem landing the fish with those type of nets. Now they do have, this right here is kind of just like cord. Yeah, I don't know, like a nylon twisted up stuff here. The only disadvantage to these types of nets is once you get the fish in there with the hook and stuff, the hook kind of gets caught up in here, the sinkers and stuff kind of gets caught up in here, and this net is really big. These type of nets are fairly inexpensive compared to another net that I'm about to talk about, and that is a net that has like a rubberized net, a rubberized mesh. Those are really nice. They're quite a bit more expensive. Every fisherman pretty much wants to have those rubberized nets because when you, like I said, when you land a fish with these and everything gets tangled up in it time and time again, it does kind of get the pain in the hind end, but they are inexpensive. So if you don't have a lot of money, that's kind of what you have to go with. But maybe you want to spend $100 for someone and get them a really good net that's going to last them a long time. you definitely probably want to go with that more of that rubberized net, because I definitely want one of those. If someone's going to buy me something for Christmas, hint, hint, I want one of those rubberized nets. That's how cool they are, guys. I want one for myself. Now, the next thing on the list is a cast net. Every fisherman wants a cast net because at some point or another you want to use some live bait, cut bait. If you're a striper fisherman, you want some live bait. If you're a bass fisherman, smallmouth, any kind of fisherman like that, you want some little shad and things like that at times. Or if you're a cat fisherman, basically that's definitely your go-to choice, is bait like that. So this one is a little tiny small net. Of course, you're not going to want to get one this small. This is for my son, but because we are indoors, I thought it'd be cool just to bring this little bitty net in here. So these cast nets, they can range from relatively not that expensive to really expensive. What I mean by that, you can get nets for about 30 bucks, or you can get nets for about 150, 160 bucks, depending on the size and things needed. So a normal size net is going to be about 6 foot. 5 to 6 foot is a perfect size net. Those run about 40 bucks or so. You can get those at Walmart. They're decent nets, going to catch you bait. The bigger size net you get, the more chance you have getting bait. The heavier the nets are, the more weights that they have on them, the better you have chance of getting more bait too. Now, if you guys have seen my videos of throwing nets, I have thrown those cheaper Walmart nets in the past, and I have thrown some really big nets. So the big nets definitely make a big difference. They got a lot more weight, they're heavier, they spread out a lot further, and you catch a lot more bait a lot faster. So when I used to throw these small nets, I used to throw and throw for an hour until I had enough bait. With those really big nets, even though they are expensive, they have saved me a ton of time. I throw 1, 2, 3 times, and I'm out of there. I have enough bait to go, and I can get to doing what I really want to do, and that is fish for the fish that I'm actually after. So nets are really a cool choice for a gift idea for any fisherman, really. You talk about a really nice gift that any fisherman would appreciate the crap out of you for, because it just becomes like a whole new hobby for themselves, something really fun to do, and it's going to save them a ton of money for years to come, and that is getting them their own stuff to make their own sinkers. Now, we talked about those stocking stuffers. Those sinkers, they're not like super expensive. You can get a 2-3 pack of the no-rolls like I use for about $2.50. So I can get 3 sinkers for $2.50. They're a little less than $1 a piece at the store. Over a period of time, though, I'm going to go through about 100 sinkers a year, and that comes to a lot of money, actually. And that happens year after year after year. Where if you spend roughly about $100 on the stuff you need to make your own sinkers, you're going to be making sinkers for just pennies on the dollar. Super cheap. What you're going to need to get them is a pot. This is going to hook up and melt the lead. They're going to put their lead in there. It's going to melt it for them, and then you're going to need whatever kind of sinkers that they use. This is a bank sinker mold, and you just pour it down in those holes right there, let it cool off for just a second, open them up, and they're going to have their own sinkers really cheap. It's kind of fun to do, it's neat to get into, and like I said, it's going to save them a ton of money. This is going to be a really nice gift for someone for Christmas if you decide to go with something like this. Last on the list, and I think everyone knew it was coming, is definitely fishing rods and reels. So we're going to go over some combos, we're going to go over some separate things. If they just need a rod, got that on here. If they just need a nice reel or a good reel, we've got those two covered. And then again, the combo itself, which comes with both rod and the reel. So a combo that you could get them is definitely going to be, this is one of my favorite combos, and that is the ugly stick paired up with this spinning reel. This spinning reel is, for the price of this thing, usually these spinning reels are pretty not so good, to say the least. This one is actually pretty nice. I used this for some big fishing, and it held up. I had another reel to break while I was there, had to leave, and I actually went and bought this one, used it the rest of the night, used it several other times after that. It held up nice and never did break like the other reel did. The rod, of course, you're not really going to have to worry about it ever really breaking, because it is an ugly stick. Now this is going to run you about $45-50 for this combo. I think that this already comes with line on it. I think. Pretty sure it already comes with line on it. So you don't even have to buy a line. You just buy this and they're ready to go. About 40 to 50 bucks. You can have them a nice setup. Pretty cool. Now, if you want to get them, let's just say, their own built rod or whatever, you can, and reel. The really, really nice reels for the price are these Akumas right here. And this one is the CLX Akuma. It's a classic. These right here will last you forever. I've had mine for a very long time. I actually had two. I done a giveaway with the other one that I had. It was my first ever one. This is the second one I bought a few months later after buying that one. And these things, neither one of them has tore up. Sometimes you'll have reels that have a problem with that worm gear in there messing up. I've never even took these things apart and cleaned them over like the 6 years I've had them, or however many years I've had them. Never even took them apart and cleaned them. I've kind of neglected them. And this thing turns like a champ, no problems, really smooth casting. The clicker on it, pretty nice. So if you have someone who likes to run clickers, it's got a pretty nice clicker on it. The engage and disengage on these things are fairly smooth. You have no problems locking down the spool or getting it to free spool. The star drag on this thing is a little stiffer than some of the other reels, but it's still nice. It's not got a click system. It's just a tighten down kind of thing, and that's it. But for the price, this thing is like 35, 40 bucks. So really, really cheap for getting into these kind of reels. For its class, that is very, very cheap, and it's built to last forever. It's going to last you forever. So if you're looking to get them a reel, don't want to spend a ton of money on it, you cannot go wrong with this reel, because they will not break this reel. This reel will last them forever. It's definitely a good learner reel. Maybe someone wants to get into these type of reels. It's definitely a good learner reel for the money. 35, 40 bucks. You can have a reel that's probably never going to tear up on you. You could pair that up with a couple different rod options. One of them being this Akuma Battle Cat. So you can match it. That's an Akuma reel. You can match it up with this Akuma Battle Cat. This one right here, 50 to 60 pound line, 1 to 8 ounce weight. So this thing's going to sling some weight for you. Most rods go to about 3 to 4 ounces of max weight, is about all that they can handle without losing that casting distance. This one right here, however, 8 ounces of weight you can put on this thing and sling it out there, total weight. So this one is again an Akuma Battle Cat. It's a 7'6" rod, so it's a good boat rod, a good kayak rod, a good bank rod, just an all-around rod right here. Is definitely something that you would want to get them to pair up with that. It would be a perfect pair. The Akuma Classic and this Akuma Battle Cat. And it even actually comes apart right here. So if they have a smaller truck, like a 6-foot bed or something, this is going to come out and make this rod about 6 foot, maybe a little less than 6 foot actually, and then the rest of this can kind of sit beside the rod. So, or if they need they're in a vehicle, put it in the trunk or something like that, this may even fit in the trunk because it breaks down right here. Not a lot of rods do that are 7'6". That's pretty cool. So pair that up with that, or you could pair it up with something. Maybe they need a really big rod. Maybe they're diehard bank fishermen like I am, and you can get them a 12-foot big water ugly stick. Now this thing right here, that rod right there is somewhere around 90 bucks, I think. This one I think is around 75 to 85 bucks. So this one's actually a little bit cheaper, even though it's quite a bit bigger. This one will sling 6 to 12 ounces of weight. So that other one was 1 to 8 ounces, up to 8 ounces. This one is up to 12 ounces, and it's saying 6 to 12. So basically it's saying you need to have a pretty good amount of weight on there at all times anyway. This thing is built to sling some weight. So if you're looking to sling some big old crappie heads, some big skipjack heads out there, this is going to have no problem doing that. 12 ounces of weight is what this thing will sling. And this is a 12-foot rod. So it's going to have that huge lever, that huge catapult action to cast their baits out there really, really far. I love this rod. I'm eventually going to buy another one of these one day because I just love it that much. I love how far I can cast it. I love how much weight I can cast on it. I love how stout this thing is with the backbone that it has to pull in fish. This is definitely one of my favorite rods I've ever had. So you can pair it up, that Akuma, with a rod like this. Now let's say you wanted to get them a nice, really nice reel. Now I'm not saying this is the best reel out there because there's a ton of other good reels. It's just a really nice reel that I use for myself. And these are those Abus. This is the Abu Garcia 7000. This is the Catfish edition here. These things have really good line capacity on them. The spool on them is really, really smooth and nice. These things cast a mile. You've got the power handle on here. You've got a really nice clicker. You've got all kinds of nice features to these, and they just look really cool. They look amazing. They look awesome. This one's dirty as crap. It's got slime and guts and just stuff is all over it, and it still looks really good in the camera. That's how awesome these things are. So I really like these reels. These reels, however, are going to run you, depending on what kind of deals you can find on them, anywhere from about $145 up to about $170. So like I said, this is that big gift item that you're definitely going to want to, if you're the only one going to get them one gift, but it's going to be a big gift. This can be one of those gifts that you get them, and they can definitely appreciate it. Now the same thing with these Abus right here. They definitely make all kinds of sizes. They make smaller sizes for bass fishermen. They make smaller sizes for striper fishermen, different things like that. And the smaller you go down, they get a lot cheaper as well. You can find some of these for about 60 bucks in that bass range and stuff, and some of the striper reels. So they got you covered there. You can get these Abus for all kinds of species and different price ranges as well.